Okay, so we're back and we've found out where measure 5 starts, and we dictated where the first measure was of this song. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cover a tool that is known as Time Warp. And Time Warp allows you to drag the timeline to your WAV file. Now this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy process, so I will probably speed up the video later on because I don't think you're going to want to watch me do this for however many measures this is. But I will do quite a few, just to show you how I do it. And then I'll also discuss there is an automatic way to do it. It's not always accurate. We will try it, but I want to cover how to do it manually first. So since we know this is where measure 5 is supposed to be, we're going to turn on Time Warp. We need to, before I do this, before I turn on Time Warp, we need to, and this is very important because this won't work, this down here has to say tempo, or this has to say track and not fixed. If it says fixed, this will not work. And actually, I'm pretty sure if you stick it in here, yeah, see, it'll yell at you. So if it yells at you, you need to have the tempo on track. It's very important. So we're just going to grab measure 5 and drag it over to that hit. And truthfully, I mean, if you want to get really picky, I have not found it to be this necessary, but you can go right down and drag it. But you'll notice now when we hit play and we listen, the first 5 measures should be in time now, or close to it. Now I can see that these are actually downbeats, so if you want to get really picky, you can drag this over. But the first 5 measures will be in time. And then it goes off again. So basically what we need to do is that to this entire song. So what I've found to do is, because obviously we're somewhere in between 90 and 95 for the tempo, is I like to pull up the tempo window, the time window. Anyways, it's Apple T, and it automatically opens on my second monitor, so let me fly that over here. This is your tempo track editor, that's what I meant to say. You pull up the tempo track editor, and I like to go in here and erase the stop, and what that will do is it will get rid of this marker. And when you're doing an instructional video, you should shut your phone off. So basically we're going to keep going. I am going to drop another marker back in here because I'll show you what happens. If you don't drop a marker, everything is moved to the most recent marker. So if I move this, you see that 5 moving? Yeah, no bueno. So you want to drop that in there. But from there on out, drums are pretty easy. I mean, you can get your visual cues from the drums. I'm guessing that the drum beat is either going to be over here or this snare drum. You just got to listen to it. Yeah, it's close. It's like a little pickup into the next thing. Move over, and yeah, about there. He seems to be a pretty consistent player. So what we can do, now that you know how to do it manually, and I'll keep doing it, I'll do a few more. I mean, I can tell that this pattern is a snare quickly into the kick kind of thing. And I imagine at the end of this fill, this is going to be the downbeat, because you can also see that he hit the cymbal hardest there. So Yeah, I mean you can hear and see where he's hitting on the downbeat. Every once in a while, you won't have a visual cue as to where the downbeat is if there's some sort of syncopated thing going on. If that's the case, you can map all your subdivisions. You need to turn on snap, I think, and then you need to turn on beat up here for grid type. Actually, I'm not sure if you even have to. No, you don't have to have snap on, but you do have to have it on beat and not bar, because bar will only allow you to edit your bars, and beat will allow all your quarter note beats. And if you use quantize, you can set it to whatever value you want. So this is eighth notes and so forth. I'm just going to use beat because I don't want to go that crazy. I mean, if you really wanted to go that crazy, you can go that crazy, but I've found that this is more than adequate. So usually it's pretty easy to see where things are, and I guarantee you that I'm hitting on where the downbeat is, because like I said, this is a fairly steady track. I mean, and that's nice when you have players that are pretty consistent. So as you can see, this is pretty quick. And like right here, I'd have to listen to this. And I think I have to turn off this stuff just so I can hear it a little bit better. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the downbeat is right here. And he does slow down this thing right here. Excuse me, this fill. 1, 2, do. So you want to be checking your work. So we're going to go back and we're going to turn on the click. Just make sure that we're good. Yeah, and that's going to be one of those things where obviously I was incorrect. So if you make a mistake, what you do is you hold down your shift key, and that will bring up the eraser, and you can erase any point detections that you have going on. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and complete the song. I will record anything and splice anything that was difficult and show you how I did it. But basically this is the method that I use because it's a little bit more precise. Now I do really quick want to show you the automatic detection. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to open up the tempo track editor again, and I'm going to erase all of those hit points. And I know you're going, oh no. But it's pretty easy for me to get that back. I have a pretty good handle on this at this point. So there is an automatic. I have no idea if this is going to work, and sometimes it's incredibly inaccurate, I'm afraid to say. But what you can do is you can pick something, and hopefully this has enough hit points that it'll detect it correctly. But you go to Project, and you go to Tempo Detection in this menu, and if you don't have something selected, I'm pretty sure that's not, yeah, it's not available if you don't have something selected, so you have to tell it what you're going to use for the tempo detection. So we're going to try this. I have no idea if this is going to work. Sometimes it does and it's awesome, and sometimes it's completely wrong. So we're going to go ahead and hit it, and we will see if it worked. We're going to hit analyze and just hold on here. Just let it think. Okay, it's not going to work very well. Whenever I get this window, it's usually because it, you know, something happened and it didn't know what to do. So there must have been a tempo change. Yeah, it failed miserably. We only got that much, and I bet you it's not even close. Let's listen to it. Okay, it just doubled it. Yeah, but see, then it quit. So, I mean, you can try other tracks and see if you have better. You can try different ones and see if it'll work better. I mean, we can try this. We can try one of the overheads and see if it'll work better. I don't have high hopes for this, but it's, you know, it's worth trying. It hasn't been the most impressive feature to me. Steinberg has a video up showing you this working great, but I have yet to have such luck with it. That one didn't yell at it. That one tried to do the whole song. Let's see if it worked. Because if it worked, it is a heck of a lot closer. Now it botched the first. Alright, let me do something. I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to tell it where beat 5 is. Where measure 5 is, and see if it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and tell it where measure 4 is. And see if giving it more information makes it more accurate. And I'm just going to drop one there. So hopefully these don't disappear when I hit analyze. But let's see if we get the same luck. I'll probably still do it manually, just because I know that it's, in my opinion, it's more accurate than this, but okay. Alright, well, let's see how on it is. And let's see if it changed. Yeah, see, it keeps wanting to change where where measure 5 is. Now, I'm pretty sure that, well, let's just listen to it. Okay, so I think it did a pretty good job. The only thing is we got to tell it what time signature it is, and you got the tempo right, it's pretty easy to tell it what it is. All you got to do is open up this again, this tempo thing. Come in here and drop in a 4/4 time signature, and it should automatically adjust everything. Oh, look, it even put measure 5 in the right place. Sort of. Yeah, see, this is why I don't like the automatic thing. Measure 5 should be like there. So, not as accurate as I'd like it to be. Anyways, this will sound pretty correct, though. Let's see if it stayed on target all the way to the end. Let's see what happened over here. I'm going to get out of this mode because it's not needed anymore. See, and this is the other issue. It totally botched over here. I mean, we lost a we lost a beat somewhere. Yeah, just this unfortunately is why most of the time you end up having to do it manually. So I'm going to go through and do it the exact method that I showed, that manual method, and I'll come back and we'll move on to the next step to getting this all to one smooth tempo. Okay? Thanks.